In recent days, a controversial proposal from the Trump administration has continued to spark discussions about the future of education in the United States. What could motivate a government to want to close the Department of Education? In this video, we will analyze the reasons behind this decision and what it could mean for the country's educational system. In 2025, the Trump administration, which returned to power after the 2024 elections, revived the proposal to close the U.S. Department of Education, one of the federal agencies responsible for coordinating educational policies in the country. The proposal resurfaced as part of a broader agenda to reduce the size of the federal government and decrease federal intervention in local affairs. The idea of closing the department has caused great concern among educators, parents, and even politicians from various political spectrums. The Department of Education was created in 1979 to promote access to public education and ensure the quality of education in the country. Today, it manages programs ranging from public school funding to the implementation of policies aimed at ensuring equality in the educational system. However, the Trump administration, which resumed power in 2025, argues that the Department of Education is inefficient and burdened with bureaucracy. The goal is to reduce federal involvement in educational matters and return more control to the states and the private sector. Trump, along with his new Secretary of Education, advocates that the federal government should have less influence on education. Betsy DeVos, the former Secretary of Education in the Trump administration, was a staunch advocate for education privatization policies and charter schools, which are independent institutions but funded with public resources. She believed that traditional public schools in the United States were failing, particularly in low-income areas, and that more competition through private or alternative schools could improve the quality of education. The proposal to close or reduce the Department of Education is directly linked to the idea of transferring more resources and power to the states and private initiatives. Trump and his team believe that the federal educational system is limiting innovation, and that if the federal government withdrew from certain aspects of education, it could create space for more freedom and creativity, leading to better results. They argue that states, with greater flexibility, could implement educational systems more suited to their local needs. Additionally, the privatization of education, with support for charter schools and school vouchers, would give parents more options for where to enroll their children, rather than relying solely on state-run public schools. However, not everyone agrees with this view. Critics argue that without the Department of Education, access to quality education would become even more unequal, particularly for students in low-income communities. Furthermore, many fear that closing the department would harm programs that ensure racial equality and support for students with disabilities. Education experts point out that the Department of Education plays an important role in funding programs to support public education, such as financial aid for college students, ensuring a minimum standard of quality in schools, and protecting against discrimination in educational institutions. Many argue that without the Department of Education, the federal government would lose the ability to monitor and equitably support schools, which could increase educational disparities in the country, especially between urban and rural areas, or between students from different ethnic and socioeconomic backgrounds. Although the idea of closing or reducing the Department of Education was an ambitious proposal from the Trump administration in the past, in 2025, the issue is back on the table. The proposal has sparked an important debate about the role of government in education and the alternatives that can be explored to improve the quality of education in the United States. Is education privatization the right path, or should the government maintain an active role in managing and regulating public education? The debate over the future of the U.S. educational system is far from being resolved, and will surely continue to be a central theme in the years to come. Thank you for watching Yellow. your 100% independent libertarian news channel. This channel is not monetized, and we have no intention of monetizing it, so you don't have to worry about ads. For this reason, we ask that, if possible, make a donation via Bitcoin to the address on the screen and in the description. By doing this, you help me continue the channel and pay for college. If you can't help financially, you can also help me by subscribing and liking the video. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and I wish you an excellent day.